Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we got our exciting package from Norway from our friend Redirect, and we're very grateful for that. Just trying to work out how it goes together, and just looking at what we're seeing on. So this is the outside pack that goes on the wall outside. And we've got the power pack, and then we've got the router itself. Wow. So there's the router. Now, just bearing in mind that I'm no electronic genius, nor do I have a great interest or aptitude for it. But this is the router, and obviously right at the back here we have where all the connectors go. So they seem fairly straightforward. Not quite sure what this one is that you can see. I'm just not quite sure about that. Maybe it's for charging, but I don't think that this has to be charged, but who knows. Anyway, it has a power supply there, and there is the power cord. So now what are the other connectors for? Well, they're all the same, so I'm taking it that they are for different things. What are they marked? They're marked for telephones. Telephones, 2 for telephones, telephone 1 and 2, and then the others, I'm taking it, are for different computers. And this supposedly will cope for and give good signal to, I think, well, it looks like four actually different units. Okay, so now these other parts here, now this is strange because it was covered in by this. Now this goes on here, and this was on here. Fits absolutely beautifully flush. Just show it to you there. Now when that's all closed up and you just get the unit and you don't know anything about it, it looks as if it's one of those things where the customer is not supposed to open it. But in this case the customer didn't know what else to do, so he opened it. And there in the back is the answer to what these two cables are for. Let's see if I can show you. Now these two cables, the problem before I opened that little back compartment, the problem was, what do I do with two connectors with a female thread? Well, they go in there like that. That's what I'm thinking. So they go in there. Now, that's fairly straightforward. That is then connected via this long cable, right into the back of the unit. Well, we found a place which will be ideal for the unit to be connected. And here, this is a really nicely made piece. All stainless steel for being outside. And then we have this part. And that's really nicely done too. Now, when all of that is bolted up, that obviously goes on the wall somewhere. You can see that that's how that would go. Alright, now in a perfect world, we'd put that on the wall, it would go inside and it would just be wonderful, but it's probably not going to be, excuse me a second, it's probably not going to be perfect there. So we need to probably get it outside. Now this is facing in about the right direction, but outside is a slightly better place. So I'll show you what it looks like outside and what we're probably going to have to rig up. Now, before I do that, I will say one puzzling thing, and that is we don't know what these little blades are for. Now I'm assuming that that is in some way connected with an antenna, but once again it's a female connection and there is nowhere for a male, so got to have both. Now if you looked at that from off, that would look like an antenna to me, but this is the box for the antenna and there are no places where that can fit. See, it's all entirely waterproof. Nothing. There's nothing that any of those little paddles, nowhere for them to go. So let me show you outside. Now where could we put them? Well, the ideal would be to put that box where it would be most convenient. Now if I could just put it up on the wall there, that would be great. But pointing you round now the side of the house, going down the side of the house, now this will be the front door. In some lucky day when we when we can afford a front door and a frame. So you can see that this fits on the house diagonally, which had it been a slightly different angle would probably have been a great place to have this on the wall. Not that I want to have that thing stuck on the wall, but there are uglier things than that, and I think the house is not such an incredible beauty that it's going to be a big drawback. So what I'm thinking is I'll have to make up a wooden base that will screw onto that piece of red cladding. That will screw on there, and then if I put my back to that wall, it points out between those two coconut trees. That's if it goes in that direction. But if you come over, follow me over, right now straight ahead now, and slightly to the right of this coconut tree, so we're looking about there. That apparently, Beth tells me, she used to see the antenna. So there's an actual tower right over there somewhere that used to be visible. Invisible at night. It would obviously have a light on the top that was visible from our house, from here. But it's not visible anymore, so with the rate at which things grow here, it's probably, well, it's still there obviously, but now we can't actually see it because of trees and stuff, but it's still there. So we have to look at getting our angle just perfect, and that will be our angle there. So like I say, I will make up a wooden plate that will go on there, and I'll angle that out slightly so that we're going in what I hope is the right direction. Maybe have to make it so that it's adjustable, and that will be trial and error. I was going to try to get it up as high as possible, and then I'm thinking, well, for heaven's sake, how much higher can we be than, I don't know, maybe going to the top of the coconut tree would just be perfect, but that's not going to happen. So I'm not going to start taking life in my hands, excuse me, and going up on the roof again. I can do without that. We'll put it on the wall here. We'll put it on the wall there, right on that place, and that will be under the cover of that overhang and should be out of the weather. If I put it up high, it will be out of the weather. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it up, probably temporary, just to have a look, see what we can see, and then go from there. It will be trial and error. But first of all, if there's anybody out there, and I know that there is one subscriber who says, I have that unit, exactly that unit, and it works awesome. Well, not sure where you are in our comments, so I've already lost you. And if you're looking at this video, and you will have recognized the piece that we now have in common, perhaps you can message me and give me some indication as to what those two paddles are for. I'm calling them paddles. Let's say paddles, antennas, the little white blades. Tell me what you think they're for. I'll just show you again. Not that you need to be shown again, because you can just play the video again. What we're looking at here. There we go. What are they for? And with this connector, see, it's a female connector, and it's about 7 inches long. Nicely made. Everything is beautifully made. I got these. Now I'm taking it that these go in here. So this is two separate cables. There's two separate cables here. We don't know what they're for, but I'm taking it that they will go in from this unit into one of our computers, which that's really all that we've got, is just the one desktop computer, and then we're using this in conjunction with a Wi-Fi. This, as I say, is really nicely made. If our friend who has this knows what this is for, let us know. We've already been in touch with, well, I've sent a message to our benefactor that gave us this. I'm taking it that he, because there was no note with the piece, I'm taking it that he sent this, but he ordered it and they drop shipped it. That's my thought on it, that it was drop shipped. So he's actually never seen this. He doesn't know what it comes with, and he's going to have to educate me on knowing what this is for. This, as I say, pretty straightforward. The bracket really nicely made, simple design, works very well. Look at that. So you can get this all mounted up, put it onto here, get all of this done, and then do it for here. So that's been our little ad. Here I am again. So we're going to sign off. Appreciate any help, any advice that anybody has about fitting up this piece, because it will save us an enormous amount of trouble. A lot of travel, a lot of expense, and time. And time is of the essence at the moment, because we're traveling about trying to get our various projects handled. We have one over at Burgos and we have one in Ubay. Those are 2 houses, plus we have to take Grandpa down for his cataract surgery. So that, and then perhaps we'll have a little time for ourselves. We have, as I've mentioned, hooked up with the Village of Hope, and we're going to be working with them under the umbrella of their license, and that is going to be a partnership that is going to be extremely helpful for us, and will satisfy a lot of those chirping trolls that are out there who are much more interested in legalities than in helping people. Okay, well, everybody to his job. Thanks for looking in. This is Foreigner in the